Not fake. It's just, you change how, once you've like introduced yourself and you start talking and then you redo it, it's different.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not be different. I'd rather be genuine. I'm a little all over the place, to be honest. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I maybe the topic of today will be relevant because I kind of feel like I'm a little messy. Well, yeah. So I'm good in general, but a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of things that are going on. I've got the bathroom renovation, which I have a feeling will be going on for quite a long time. It's also very messy, and I've got a workout competition this weekend. Kids seem to be sick, not sick. Exams. There's a lot of moving parts in this neck of the woods. How about you?
Well, I had said earlier that I'm better, and as you know, the last couple of weeks have been just really messy and unpredictable and intense. So I decided on Monday to give myself an inside attitude adjustment.
Oh, interesting.
I know. I don't know why I called it inside, but that's what I have a couple of women that were checking.
Well, I don't know if the attitude is external, like it's not out here, you can't grab it, right?
Well, sometimes it can be how you're being outside, right? Like an attitude, like we can say it that way. I don't think out there was where I needed to adjust. It was inside.
Mm.
And, I spent the whole morning, I was getting ready for a big meeting. It was important. It was kind of the continuation of what I've been going through to support the people that I'm helping. And I was prepping, listen to my language. And I didn't even know what the meeting was going to create, but I was prepping. And what I decided
prepping for?
Prepping what I was going to say, how I was going to approach it. Like I knew it was about, the person we're supporting, but I was preparing my way I prepare for a meeting, a conversation, because I know that it's important. I want to make sure I'm clear, blah, 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 blah. And what I realized is I needed to do was just ground myself. There was like a switch that went, it isn't this stuff. You're going to speak from your authentic voice. You've been here on this journey. You know what you need to say. You need to trust your gut, whatever shows up. But I was really, you talked about all over the place. I was all over the place inside. And so I spent the whole 2 hours shifting my prepping to just feeling the ground, feeling my feet, sitting, getting in my body. Every time I left, come back, breathe. I just kept spending my focus and my intention on the inside to get all of that stuff settled, and which I hadn't really given myself space or time to do. It shifted not only how I showed up that day, but it's been continuous. It's been a practice that I've been doing every day. So I feel better. So I feel myself. I feel more calm. I feel I'm fully engaged from my tip of my head to my toes. Not every minute, as we know, it's an in and out practice, but very much more attuned.
And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do these. Even just sitting and listening to you describe how you went from kind of scattered, a little bit all over the place, not grounded to grounded, grounds me. Because I get to then settle into me, because when we show up in this world, we have an effect and impact on other people. And when you are frantic and all over the place, that energy is out there. I mean, I just had an experience with Avery trying to get him ready. And the volume's going up, the frustration's going up on both sides, and it's not helping. But if you stay like calm and cool and collected, oftentimes that will resonate and help ease things on the other side. So when you're like, you know what, I just had to, connect with the ground and just trust that my authentic self is good enough, and all that stuff just helps me settle in. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Like we say, we're always on a parallel journey, all of us. And the more I'm vulnerable with others about where I'm at, the more they say, I'm feeling the same way. So it's been very interesting. One woman grabbed me at the gym yesterday, who I used to work with. We've reconnected from the gym. And she grabbed my arm when we were talking. She goes, I'm not alone. I said, we're never alone. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's amazing how we often don't think we are, likely because we're in our head more often than not and not out with others. And when you show up vulnerable, it provides almost like a permission slip for them to do the same. So our topic today, you can't skip messy. I'm learning stuff. It's not crazy, but it's something. Can't skip messy. Now, I mean, I'm sure this could go in a million different directions, but I feel like you can't skip messy applies so many places. Important conversations, coaching conversations, projects, inside, outside. Anytime you've done something new, my new bathroom is a complete, in my head, utter disaster. But until you get, like, you have this kind of vision of how nice it's going to be and how neat and whatever, but the shit you've got to go through to get there is insane. Tearing it out, bring the pieces in, bring the pieces out, cut, saw, sawdust, banging, people complaining you're making too much noise, pouring water everywhere, like pipes not fitting the way that you anticipated. Like there's so much. And I think it's because you don't know what you don't know until you don't know it. Does that make sense? Like you have to get through the messy to get to something has some sort of clarity and focus.
What I wondered is you can't skip it till you can't feel it till you're in it. Like you talked about the beautiful bathroom. So often we are thinking of that part, the end part.
The end result.
And then when we start to, make it happen, we start to realize, oh my goodness, this is messier than I thought. And then now we're navigating and getting frustrated. You used all the language. It's a reality check of, I wrote a piece and I'm going to look for it. I hope I can find it. I wrote it a long time ago when I started doing my coaching and my engagement practice when I was, really, really early stages. And I would be called in to do stuff and it didn't always go so well. But what I realize is in order to get it great, you got to get it wrong first. That was a big learning for me, that something new, something different, shifting gears, moving in a direction that's, it's important, but don't have it all figured out yet. Mm-hmm. You're not good at it yet. You're not confident yet. It's, the practice of being and getting it wrong. I remember just feeling, okay, if I really want to be at the level that I want to be to contribute, I have to start there. And I will learn and learn and learn and practice and unlearn and get the right and wrong. And it really helped me realize, first of all, that that's something I wanted to do well at, and that I had to be comfortable. There's the word, being, wobbly, messy, getting it wrong, not right, not perfect first to get where I wanted to go.
I think that's the rub, because nobody wants to look silly or wobbly or not good at whatever it is that they're doing. They want to be good right away. And especially when you're putting yourself in front of others while you're doing that, it's like an extra layer of pressure and stress and whatever, because you put yourself out there in front of people. I remember when it would have been one of the first times we got together. It was a Tools for Engagement workshop in Toronto. And the way that whole process worked for anybody who's listening is you experienced the workshop and then you got to deliver a portion of it. And you had to, ideally you're trying to, replicate what was done in that section. And I remember I got a Bob section. So, but because I'm uncomfortable in front of people, I relied on my sense of humor and trying to use it to get me through it. But I ended up losing the plot a little bit because it was more important to me at the time to get a laugh than it was to get it right. So in doing so, I got it wrong. But I wouldn't have known how important it was to lay the foundation and then get your laugh secondary or at a different time or whatever until I had gone through it and done it myself. So I needed to screw up. But like I said, I relied on what I consider to be a strength to help me through it, but it not necessarily where it fits the best.
Super cool.
Got to get messy. Got to get messy.
I got a story, and just to add to that, just the idea of, how you can actually create safe space to get messy. So, I'm a curler, over 50 years. And I love the game. I also just love the development of what can happen in a game. And so this last league that I was in, the ladies league, there were 3 fairly new curlers, and they really wanted to, they see me as the guru, which I think is kind of funny, but I am a decent curler, obviously, with that many years. But so I said to them, I said, you know what? They go, I do want to learn something that'll make you feel good. And I will tell you, if you can learn this, you will win more games than you lose. And their eyes lit up. Yeah. And I said, I want you to judge sweeping the rock. So in curling, when we throw the rock, there's sweepers. There's people that actually either help speed up the rock or keep it straight, but mostly speed up the rock. They have to judge, is the rock going to make it into the other end of the house? Because I'm the skip at the other end. I said, I can't judge the weight of the rock until halfway down. So I have to count on you to be my eyes and figure it out. And then you can see them kind of shrinking, right? And I said, you're going to get it wrong 1,000 times. So let's just start off with that, 1,000. Because you can't learn this unless you feel it. You will make mistakes. And even when you get to my level of experience, I still make mistakes. I'm good at it, but I'm always going to have an opportunity. Oh man, I misjudged that. So I want you to learn it because it's going to help you get more engaged in the game, and you're going to really contribute to the game. And so by game 3, they were high-fiving each other. Yeah. They were coming up at the other end going, I'm really sorry. I should have swept that. Yeah, there's your first of 1,000 mistakes. I've done that. Thank you for giving me a number to use, but it's okay. We're going to get it wrong, right? So by the end of that, they were hugging me. But the reason why is they said, oh my God, I got it. 7 games later, by me not engaging, by giving them the power and letting them be messy and not knowing, that getting it wrong first. And then it goes back to what we talk about, the confidence and competence. Mm-hmm. And the practice is what coaching does. What we do changing the conversation is build a safe space to build those muscles. So it comes more naturally it's embedded in the conversations that they choose to use it. So yeah, it's fun to watch. So you can practice this in many areas, building that up of being comfortable that it's going to be messy, you're going to get it wrong, but then watching how repetition and confidence and competence and finding your own way of judging the rock, they were able to see growth and development.
Yeah, there's something to do with that, the experience of it. You can tell people till you're blue in the face what it is that they need to do or should be doing or how it should feel. But until they've felt what it needs to feel like, the connection likely won't happen.
Because they're doing it their way. Like, we all have a unique view. And we've grown up in different ways, and we have different, strengths and areas that we need to grow. So it's allowing them to use their capacities and strengthen them on their own. And in coaching, that's what we do, because we know when we leave the conversation, it's on them. It's their journey. Mm-hmm. It's their world. And so by allowing this growth and development to evolve and space for it, and for them to come back and go, oh man, that didn't go so well. And I think what I learned from the experience, because guess what? Growth comes after experience, dang it. We have to, have that wobbly, slippery, messy journey to start to track ourselves. Like we think it's this way, but it's, as we know, up and down and over and across to get to where we want to go. But the reward and the sustainability that's there for them to apply in other areas of their life, other situations, so it becomes replicable. We call it the ripple effect. Yeah. We now have the capacity to see where it fits in many different places and aspects of our lives.
I don't think a lot of people look at it like this, but if you can appreciate the messy for what it is providing you, it takes some of the scary out of it, because you can't skip it. If you can appreciate that it does get messy, but you're going to learn from that messy and it's going to help you grow and develop, you understand how it fits into the puzzle. And you can then be okay, things are rough right now. I'm not comfortable, but a lot of inspiration comes from that space too. So being okay with messy so that you can experience it, are open to that learning piece, and then evolve from there. There's always going to be another level of messy. There's always going to be another situation that's not going the way that you want. So understanding that, appreciating it, moving through it, trusting the process, and then every now and then taking a look back to see how far you've come, because that, a lot of people don't do that. So like if you were like on a fitness journey or something and you had a specific goal and you never looked back to see where you came from, you're always seeing such a minute change from day to day. You don't see the overall result. So look back, see it, appreciate where you were and appreciate where you are, and know that it's, again, not the end destination. It's another part way. It's another plateau.
And capturing the internal and the external, because there's two skill buildings going on at the same time. What's happening inside that's helping me do things better, differently, the way I wanted to. So it's the ability to be self-aware, building that ability to observe yourself and kind of be your own cheerleader sometimes, because we are our own worst critic often, in the journey of development.
You essentially said that in your check-in. Like, I needed to make a little internal shift in order to show up differently. And without that awareness, you can't do that. And I mean, coaching's all about that initial awareness to make a shift for yourself. Without it, it's hard. And that's why having somebody else outside asking you questions so you can see it from an alternate perspective serves that purpose really, really well.
And helps you also actually capture it. Because by someone asking me to think about it, where were you when we first started and where are you now? Take a minute and just note. And often they go, oh my gosh, I have made progress. Mm-hmm. So even if I haven't yet developed that ability to do it on my own, and having someone give me observable feedback is helpful too. It's just, I need to take time. And that's what I did on Monday. I took stock of what the success were, what the milestones were, where we had been and where we are now. So it helped me. Two things, actually. I was talking about this morning to my niece, is make peace. Because it makes some peace with the past and just settle into, okay, you're here now. Mm-hmm. And look what you've been able to, what happened and how you got through it and the success that you've made so far. Ian, I wonder if, I know we've talked about maybe a visual today, what are some of the things in our coaching work and even in a conversation that kind of settles us into kind of being in messy? It's not like we're jumping quickly through it or trying to get through it quickly. What are some ways that we can kind of navigate staying in messy?
Well, I have the visual ready if you want to look at that. And I think that might help us get there.
I think it would. It helped when I saw that. It's funny how something we've done in the past helped me this morning.
Oh, I thought I set it up. Let me just see here. Maybe did I delete it? I'm going through all the screens. Damn it. Okay. Present. Okay, I guess I got to reset it up. I thought I had it set up.
That's okay.
Or is it this? Nope, that's not that. All right, present. Share.
What if we, as you're doing this, a question is, how can we embrace messy as normal and necessary?
As normal.
It's normal and necessary.
Sorry, hold on. I can't do two things at once. You're gonna have to re-ask me that in a second.
No, I know. I'm just throwing it out there as you're getting it set up, just to
fill in space.
We often want to like get past it or skip it, or I'm speaking for myself, get organized so I don't have to go through it.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's freaking uncomfortable.
I'd like to avoid it, right? So I may have strategies that I created over time that aren't necessarily helpful, because when being in it is really key to get moving forward and moving through, or it's going to come back and bite your if you don't, it's going to be there anyways. So choosing to use it and process it is helpful.
All right. So I just went through my own holy shit mode as we were speaking. Okay. So Karen's going to have to re-ask me that question for sure, because I definitely wasn't here. I was definitely not present. But that is also part of this whole awareness thing, right? Is like knowing when you check out and bring yourself back. So Karen and I used this visual almost 10 years ago, I think, is when we initially started. We put it into practice anyways. We called it holy shit mode or holy shift mode, depending on who we were talking to and what audience we were delivering it to. But what this is doing is letting people know that this is normal, and that when two people come together, and in this particular context, we're talking about a coach and a coachee coming together. When we do that, we both have stuff going on upstairs that gets in the way of us actually achieving our goal, which is a clarity and focus for the coachee so that they can make decisions and actions for themselves. But when the coach is questioning themselves and not, like, we have the committee, which is like all the voices in the head, you've got maybe some assessments going on where you've got some judgments and some opinions that might be coloring the situation. Maybe the coaching topic you're not comfortable with because it's bringing stuff up inside of yourself. Maybe you're judging it or judging yourself on, can I do this? Am I going to be of service? Or do I need to be the expert in this situation in order to help out? So when you bring that energy, you bring this kind of cloud with you, and your coachee has a similar set of concerns, fear of judgment of what the coach is thinking. I don't have answers. I should have answers. I should be ready. Why don't I know what I want? And maybe they're complaining and blaming other people and not owning what they need to do. So we all have this coming together, and it clashes into this whole holy shift or holy shit mode. So how do we navigate that initial kind of connection and then drop into some presence, to become present, to let go of the judgments, to just be open and willing to explore the possibilities, and without having to have answers. The best example I have of this for myself, I recall, I remember when one of my longest standing coaching clients, well, they weren't at the time, but it was new. It was in the beginning of that stage. They were writing a book. And as a dyslexic and somebody who's not a big reader, not an aficionado of literature, I struggle to connect with that. So when she asked me to help her coach her through the writing of her book, it really freaked me out, because I'm not an expert. I don't know what to do. I've never done it. But when I was able to settle out of, okay, I don't have the answers, I don't need the answers, I just need to ask her questions so that she can come up with what she wants to do, what she needs to do. She's the expert in this. She's the one deciding to write it. I don't have to walk a mile in those shoes. I don't have to start now, and I don't have to start ever. My job is to support her get her answer, which I know and trust, and I've always trusted that we all have the best answers inside of ourselves for ourselves. So when I was able to settle down, ground myself, be in service of her, that stuff all came out. And she was able to write her book, market her book, get it published, distribute it, all that stuff. And I'm not the expert. And once I realized that, I was in a way better place to serve her and support her.
And I would venture to guess that how you showed up once you processed all of that was able to free her up. We've talked about how we show up affects the inside of others. And you said something earlier this morning about your energy and how you were putting out all of that energy. The more calm and present we can be settled in a conversation, it does have, you can see it start to shift the person on the other side if they're feeling anxious and where do I go next, and it allows them to settle in too. So that it's really helpful. The energy of both is quite important.
And when you can settle into that, it actually allows that other person to start connecting in with their own inner wisdom. And they start to build some competence, some confidence, some competence in what they are coming up with. Because it's their baby, it's their whatever they're trying to birth into the world, whatever project that is. That's what they need to develop. And by being present, by asking those questions that serve them and expanding their view, they're able to build that confidence in themselves. It's really cool to watch when you can witness a project from stem to stern. I mean, that hasn't happened in a lot of the work that I've done. A lot of the work that I've done has been, a half dozen coaching sessions. You don't see the end result. This one I got to because we worked together for years. So I was blessed by getting the chance to see that. But at the end of the day, it was never mine anyways. It was always their journey. It's always theirs to take the next step and to move forward. Do you have any examples of holy shift mode in your life and how you've used it or noticed it?
I had one and then it left me because I was just so enthralled by your story. I was very present to your story, Ian. And I went, I don't think I need to add another story to what you're saying. But
then did I answer the question that you asked while I was fretting about I can't find the screen set up for this?
Well, I had said that what if messiness is a necessary? And it's important. It's part of the process. So that we embrace it and really, really hold it. Like we language it, we speak it, we narrate, we talk it out, we say it out loud, we notice it. So the settling part for me isn't, that's the practice that we were doing in the boot camp, because these were our audience aren't professional certified coaches. They are embracing the practice of coaching and really wanting to develop their skills and their competencies so that they can practice this in their lives and everyday conversations. So, and even in my certification, even after I got my official, you've met the accreditation, I still didn't feel confident. I still felt, who the hell do I think I am? What right do you have to be doing this work? So, and, it shows up often. If I haven't practiced for a while, I get back in the chair and go, have you really kept the skills? Are you going to be of service to that person? So I go through that willingly, openly, honestly with myself so when I do, step into that conversation, I'm there and contributing with what I've got and available to me. And what I know is it's still there. It's accessible, and it's useful. But that's a common and I would say many people in the coaching business, even when they, developed, studied it, they will call themselves imposters because, again, trusting my authentic self is how I show up. And I know I've done the work and the practice and the rigor of it, and it's in me to use for good. So I just, what I went through the last couple of weeks, messy, just calibrating it every single time, letting it come, letting it sit, letting it get processed. I think people would say me too. There's oftentimes in conversations when I'm a parent, oh my gosh, being a grandmother, I want to make a difference with my grandchildren. I'm not an expert. I'm learning the ropes one day at a time, one conversation at the time, one experience at the time. So, I know what it feels like because I deeply want to make a difference and be of service to my grandchildren. So I feel like it's in, the relationships that we have that, we want to do what's best for ourselves and others. I think generally speaking, that's a human nature.
Yeah, we care. We don't want people to suffer, right? So if we do a good job, we'll help them get somewhere and we've done our job, even though that's not our job. And I think what's refreshing about that is the fact that, somebody as a professional coach like yourself still has moments where they question their ability to do what they can do. And what I think is hilarious about that is the fact that we teach people how to coach other people. They are not professionals, yet somehow in a 10-minute sample coaching conversation, they walk out of there feeling like they were of service and they're able to help somebody get that next step, that next aha, that next whatever. And they're not professionals. And they're asking closed questions and they're leading them and they're doing all the things that we preach them not to do. And it still works.
Great. Well, I will tell you, I have, as you know, I'm often the extra that goes in if we have an odd number to be coached. So I will tell you, I have been coached by numerous amateurs. And I have had profound impact on those conversations because their intention is there. And I will say that with the ones that stick around, we have a group, a following that does. They're getting really, really, really good at it. And I have benefited from their coaching, them coaching me. So, and there it is. There's the importance to know that, when we step into something, how we show up, our intentions, our care, that actually has a lasting impact, regardless of whether we do it perfectly right.
And I think that's the impact of being present. That's even if you're doing all the wrong things, and I'm air quoting wrong because I don't think there's really any wrong, but there's better or more skillful ways to do things. But when you're present and giving your full attention towards somebody with an open and honest willingness to explore what they're going through, you have provided them a gift that they haven't had potentially on this topic ever. 5-10 minutes of your time dedicated for them to explore. Amazing space for vulnerability, for presence, and digging through whatever it is that they've got going on. And then you let them go and let them take the step that they need to take next with that, whether it's a thought or an action or just something else to dwell on. They have that opportunity, that space to do it.
Well, I'm going to finish with my quote from the beginning is that even with all of my, official development, to get to great, you got to get it wrong first. And that we use that wrong word in air quotes for sure. It's intention, it's knowing it's messy, knowing this is new development, knowing you're growing new capacity and muscles, trusting the process, trusting the people, trusting yourself, and taking that journey. So I love that I really love the quotations of wrong, because what I've learned, there's more than one right way.
Right. And this is us being messy because we're not experts in this. We're doing the best we have with what we've got. And oftentimes we've given people 10 minutes of theory before they went in and did it. Like, you don't have your chops yet. That's cool. That's great. you're going to learn. It's like if I did a CrossFit class and I said the first day, we're going to do clean and jerks. And you're going to go, what is that? I have no idea what that is. We're going to learn the steps. We're going to try it out. Don't worry. We'll do safe weights. So you don't have to worry about hurting yourself. And you build up. It's not, let's go and lift 200 pounds right away. It just doesn't work like that. So we're not going to hurt you in CrossFit. We're not going to hurt you in coaching. But we all have the ability to do this. And I think this was a fun topic to go through, because, you know, we all have to go through messy. And if anybody ever has any questions or comments they want to put, throw them in the chat, and we can respond to them in future sessions, or reply to you in the comment box ourselves. So, any final thoughts before we part for another week?
Well, if you look at our first one to this one today, at least I wasn't going out black and out of the.
Oh, so you had internet. That's amazing. Yeah, you should have that every time. Internet.
I learned from last week, so I'm getting, I'm going along, learning as I go. Thank you.
So this is messy for me too. I'm learning new software. We've only set up a couple of these, so we're just getting started. But I'm hoping each week we'll be able to come together, share what's going on with us, share how coaching is serving us, and let you know that we've got maybe some workshops coming up. I think Karen and I are having a little conversation right after this on what the next one is. What do we call them the next one? Ish.
What's pause got to do with it?
What's pause got to do with it? So yeah, stay tuned for that. We'll share when that's coming up. We always do inexpensive, accessible workshops that the amateur can pick up in a module type session, where you come, you learn a little theory, you use the tool, you get some practice, and you walk away with a skill that you can use in your day-to-day conversations where they make sense. So looking forward to that. All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.